Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? I'm going to show you a post, and this post has sparked a lot of conversation about socialism, okay? The own nothing and be happy theory. But my question is, aren't we already there? We already own nothing that the government cannot come and take away at a moment's notice. Ask any J6 prisoner, okay, who was simply exercising their constitutional rights. You never actually own your house. Why? Property taxes. You never actually even own your own car. Why? Because you have to, every single year, pay to have the registration done, right? So, and there's, I could keep going, right? I can keep going on and on and on. But what's the difference between socialism and what we've been living the past 50 years? Better yet, what is the answer? Because it feels like we're already owning nothing. So here's the post that I'm talking about, okay? You see this? And it's a post that was put up by Elon Musk. Now, we've talked about universal basic income years ago, okay? And it says there will be universal high income, not merely basic income. And everyone will have the best medical care, food, home, transport, and everything else. Sustainable abundance, all right? So, what do you think he is talking about? Universal high income, not just merely universal basic income. Okay? So, universal basic income, if you are not familiar with what universal basic income is, it provides everyone, whether you work or not, okay, with a regular, unconditional sum of money to cover your basic living needs. It's typically like a modest amount. And Elon Musk's universal high income suggests that a more ambitious concept, implying a significantly higher income level for everyone, potentially enough to afford not just your basic needs, but also a premium service like the best medical care, your food, your housing, and even transportation. So, what is the key difference? It lies in scale and scope. So, universal basic income aims for a safety net, while universal high income envisions a state of widespread prosperity and abundance. So, do you think he knows something that we don't know? Because in my honest opinion, I think that it's possible that he might just be leveraging his platform to provoke thought rather than reveal hidden knowledge. All right? Because like I said, this, with the UBI or even the universal high income, okay, as he is talking about here, it just screams that you will own nothing and be happy, okay? But like I said, it feels like we're already in that way of living anyway, okay? You buy a house, you pay it off, but you still don't really own it. Why? Property taxes, right? You buy a car, you pay it off, you still don't really own it. Why? Registration. So, what is the difference here? Now, is there a difference between what we've been living through and socialism? What is the answer? What is the answer? Can anyone give me an honest answer? because I am having a hard time finding it. Because even if you were to just say, look up the definition of socialism, okay, it plainly says it is an economic and political system that advocates a collective or a public ownership and control of the means of production and distribution, aiming to create a more equitable society, meaning the CEO is the same as the janitor, right? But it stands in contrast to capitalism's private ownership model, and it encompasses various approaches, including market socialism that uses markets and non-market forms of public ownership. So while critics argue that historical forms have failed, many proponents like democratic socialists believe in creating a system that prioritizes social welfare, democratic governance, and worker empowerment to prevent the perceived injustices of an unchecked capitalism. So, what are the core principles of socialism? Resources and industries are owned or controlled by the community, the government, or the workers, not by private individuals or corporations. The goal is a more equal distribution of wealth and resources, okay, ensuring basic necessities like food, housing, and healthcare are accessible to everyone. So that right there screams universal basic income, okay. Socialist ideals often involve giving workers a greater say in the running of their workplaces and society as a whole. That is what they are defining as worker empowerment. So socialists often highlight issues in capitalist systems such as inequality, worker exploitation, and economic insecurity, and seek to remedy them. So what are some varieties of socialism? Well, market socialism, that aims to eliminate market-based systems entirely, relying on planning and administration to distribute goods and resources. Then you have democratic socialism, which focuses on achieving socialist goals through democratic processes with existing political structures, often supporting a mixed economy with strong public services and worker protections. Then you have communism, okay? I'm sure you know what communism is. That's, while it is related, communism is distinct from socialism, often envisioned as stateless, classless society that follows a socialist phase, and that is according to the Marxist theories. Okay, so you can view socialism as a way to create a just and efficient society that serves human needs over a private profit. But you can also argue that socialism has historically failed, because it has, to deliver on its promises, pointing to economic inefficiencies, lack of incentives, and potential for authoritarianism in centrally planned systems. But you also have to look at the way society works today. I have seen so many darn videos on social media abroad where people are literally crying because they don't want to work. They want that socialism. They want that communism. They want that UBI. They don't want to work. While the rest of us are hustling our butts off so we can afford to live a better life. Because we don't want that UBI. Right? So, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do you think that we are living in sorry about that. So yeah, so do you think that this is what we are living in? Could this be a part of socialism? Or do you think this is how we've already been living for the past 50 years? You know, comment below. All right. I will see you guys in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fear less and God bless. Ciao.